A respected plastic surgeon, once a trusted figure in the operating theater, has now become the center of one of the most shocking true crime stories in recent memory. Dr. Jonathan Peter Brooks, a name once synonymous with hope and healing, is now marred by allegations of a heinous act, an attempted murder against his own colleague, Graham Perks. Today, we unravel a tale where the veneer of professionalism was shattered by personal vendetta and dark intentions. On that fateful night, as the world slept unaware, Dr. Brooks, clad in camouflage gear, crossed the thin line between duty and malicious intent. Stepping into the quiet of Graham Perks's home, armed with tools that were anything but instruments of healing, a crowbar, petrol, matches, and a knife, Brooks turned an ordinary night into a scene from a nightmare. His weapon of choice was not just a crowbar or a flammable liquid, but a seething personal grudge that had been festering since disciplinary proceedings began only 3 days earlier. The courtroom heard, with tense clarity, how Brooks's meticulously planned break-in at Mr. Perks's residence was driven by nothing less than a desire to permanently silence a colleague who had become an inconvenient witness. The evidence was damning. Forensic examinations found Brooks's blood on objects that connected him directly to the brutal violence committed that night, a testament to the calculated risks he took. CCTV footage later pieced together his movements, linking him undeniably to the scene of the crime. Yet, it wasn't just the physical evidence that painted a grim picture, but the cold details surrounding his actions: his voluntary absence from the trial, his hunger strike, and the dismissal of his lawyers, all contributing to an air of deliberate defiance against the legal process. Survivor accounts from that night add another layer to this chilling narrative. Graham Perks, who narrowly escaped death with a 95% chance of not making it, recounted the harrowing moment of being awakened by the intruder. What should have been a moment of calm in his own home was instead transformed into a scene of life-threatening violence. With the attacker mistaken for a family member in the initial moments, the shock and terror were palpable, and the ordeal left not only physical scars, but deep psychological trauma. The courage and resilience of Mr. Perks, who endured long, grueling months in hospital following rapid and expert surgical intervention, contrasts starkly with the cold premeditation of his assailant. Even as the trial unfolded, the courtroom drama played out in a perplexing manner. Dr. Brooks's absence, his self-imposed hunger strike, and his decision to represent himself added further intrigue to the proceedings. As jurors deliberated for more than 12 hours, examining every shred of evidence, they were left with the heavy responsibility of ensuring that justice was appropriately served. The judge, reminding the jury of the integrity required in their review, noted that his absence should not imply guilt, yet the weight of the evidence was unmistakable. This case is emblematic of a broader, unsettling truth. Even those entrusted with saving lives can harbor the capacity for extreme violence driven by personal motives. Legal analysts have since highlighted that the motives behind Brooks's actions were rooted in professional jealousy and a deep-seated grudge born from disciplinary tensions that spiraled dangerously out of control. The breach of trust in the medical community, where personal ambitions and rivalries may sometimes override ethical responsibilities, emerges as a central theme in this narrative. For many, the idea that a medical professional, someone who dedicates their life to healing, could commit such an act feels both alien and profoundly disturbing. The case forces us to question the very foundations of trust within the professions we hold in high regard. If a man of admirable skills and achievements can turn to such dark measures, what does that imply about the pressures and internal conflicts that might drive professionals to the brink of criminal behavior? As we reflect on this case, it is crucial to recognize the catastrophic consequences that may arise when personal vendettas intersect with professional responsibilities. The violence inflicted on Graham Perks was not merely a random act, but a premeditated scheme born from a toxic mix of jealousy and resentment. The reverberations of this incident extend far beyond individual consequences. It serves as a somber reminder of the fragility of trust in our society. Today, as Dr. Jonathan Peter Brooks awaits sentencing scheduled for June 3rd, the outcome of this trial continues to spark debates among legal experts. His case stands as a stark example of how personal issues and professional ethics can collide with catastrophic outcomes. It also prompts important questions regarding the safeguards and checks within medical institutions and the ways disciplinary proceedings are handled to prevent such tragedies. Now, as you reflect on this narrative, ask yourself, what drives a respected professional to commit such an act of violence? Was it simply a matter of personal animosity, or does it reflect deeper systemic issues within the medical field? If you found this story as shocking and thought-provoking as we do, consider joining our community of true crime enthusiasts. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on more in-depth investigations and critical analyses of significant criminal cases. Thank you for watching. And remember, to truly understand the nature of human behavior, sometimes we must confront the darkest parts of our collective story. Stay informed, stay inquisitive, and we'll see you in the next video.